Before your first breath, I knew you. Before your first cry, I chose you. Before your first step, I marked you. Before the world ever heard your name, I had already written it in my book. Before people recognized your worth, I had already declared your value. Before anyone saw your potential, I had already planned your purpose. You are not an accident looking for acceptance. You are not a mistake seeking validation. You are not a random soul hoping for recognition. You are my deliberate choice, my intentional design, my purposeful creation, and I marked you with my favor long before they ever noticed you existed. The mark I placed upon your life is not visible to human eyes, but it is undeniable to spiritual perception. It is a seal that cannot be broken, a signature that cannot be forged, an appointment that cannot be cancelled. This mark declares ownership, destination, and authority. It announces to the realm of spirits that you belong to me, that you are going somewhere, and that you carry something. The same people who overlook you today will one day wonder how they missed what was always there. The same voices that dismiss you now will one day ask when you became what you have always been. You have been looking for validation in the wrong places. You have been seeking confirmation from people who lack the spiritual eyes to see what I have placed within you. You have been waiting for human recognition of what I have already established in the heavenly realms. But human recognition is not required for divine reality. Their acknowledgement does not determine your worth. Their approval does not activate your calling. Their notice does not establish your identity. What I have marked is marked. What I have chosen is chosen. What I have appointed is appointed, and none of it depends on their perception or their permission. The mark upon your life was not placed there recently. It was not added as an afterthought or given as a consolation prize. It was embedded into your very essence before you were formed in your mother's womb. Before genetics determined your features, I determined your future. Before DNA established your physical characteristics, I established your spiritual destiny. Before your parents planned your existence, I planned your purpose. You are not here by chance. You are here by choice. My choice, and that choice was made long before anyone else had the opportunity to choose or reject you. This is why their rejection cannot alter your trajectory. This is why their denial cannot delete your destiny. This is why their dismissal cannot diminish your calling. What they see or do not see, what they recognize or fail to recognize, what they accept or reject, has no bearing on what I have already determined. They are responding to surface appearances while I am working from deeper realities. They are judging by external presentations while I am operating from internal revelations. They are making decisions based on limited information while I am working from complete knowledge. I marked you before they noticed you, because I saw what they could not see. I recognized what they would not recognize. I understood what they could not comprehend. While they were looking at your background, I was seeing your future. While they were focused on your limitations, I was concentrated on your potential. While they were measuring your current capacity, I was designing your coming ability. While they were evaluating your present position, I was establishing your future placement. The mark I placed upon you carries multiple dimensions of meaning. It is a mark of ownership that declares you belong to me. It is a mark of protection that shields you from forces that would destroy you. It is a mark of purpose that guides you toward your intended destination. It is a mark of authority that empowers you to fulfill your assignment. It is a mark of favor that opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. This mark is not jewelry that can be removed or makeup that can be washed off. It is embedded into the core of who you are. People often fail to recognize what they are not prepared to see. Their lack of recognition is not evidence of your lack of marking. It is evidence of their lack of perception. They cannot see what their eyes are not trained to detect. They cannot recognize what their hearts are not prepared to receive. They cannot acknowledge what their spirits are not equipped to discern. But their blindness does not affect the reality of what exists. The sun does not stop shining because someone closes their eyes. The ocean does not stop being deep because someone only sees the surface. There will come a moment when what I have always known about you becomes obvious to everyone around you, when what I marked in private becomes manifest in public, when what I established in the unseen becomes evident in the seen, when what I declared in silence becomes announced with power, and in that moment, those who overlooked you will realize they were in the presence of someone marked by me and failed to recognize it. Those who dismissed you will understand they rejected someone I had already accepted. Those who ignored you will comprehend they missed someone I had already chosen. But here is what you must understand. That moment of recognition is not when you become marked. That moment is when your marking becomes obvious. The marking has been there all along, working, developing, preparing, positioning you for the revelation that was always planned. Their sudden awareness is not the beginning of your calling. It is the unveiling of your calling. Their shock at your elevation is not proof that something new happened. It is proof that something eternal has finally become temporal. I marked you with gifts they could not see developing. While they saw you struggling with current challenges, I saw you mastering future assignments. While they observed you learning basic lessons, I observed you preparing for advanced responsibilities. While they witnessed you in ordinary moments, I witnessed you rehearsing for extraordinary moments. The abilities I placed within you were not given for your current environment. They were installed for your destined environment. This is why you often feel like you do not quite fit where you are. This is why your gifts seem too large for your current space. This is why your vision appears too grand for your present position. You were not marked for where you are. You were marked for where you are going. Your marking is not designed for your current address. It is designed for your future address. The discomfort you feel in current situations is evidence that you are marked for greater situations. I marked you with a capacity that your current circumstances cannot fully employ. The leadership ability I placed in you is bigger than the team you currently lead. The influence I designed you to carry is broader than the circle you currently reach. The impact I created you to make is deeper than the problems you currently solve. You are marked for multiplication, but you may currently be in a season of preparation. You are marked for expansion, but you may currently be in a process of development. You are marked for elevation, but you may currently be in a period of foundation laying. The people who cannot see your marking are often the same people who are not marked for your destination. They cannot recognize in you what they do not carry in themselves. They cannot perceive in your life what they do not pursue in their own lives. They cannot acknowledge in your spirit what they do not understand in spiritual matters. Their inability to see your marking is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of their vision. Their failure to recognize your calling is not evidence of your lack of calling. It is evidence of their lack of calling to recognize callings. I marked you with resilience, that your current trials are developing. Every challenge you face is not designed to break you. It is designed to build you. Every pressure you experience is not intended to crush you. It is intended to strengthen you. Every resistance you encounter is not meant to stop you. It is meant to prepare you for what you will face when you arrive at your marked destination. The difficulties are not accidents, they are assignments. The struggles are not punishments, they are preparations. You have been wondering why your journey seems so difficult, while others appear to have easier paths. It is because you are not marked for an easy destination. You are marked for a significant destination. I do not prepare ordinary people for extraordinary purposes through ordinary processes. The intensity of your preparation is proportional to the importance of your destination. The magnitude of your testing reveals the magnitude of your calling. The depth of your development indicates the depth of your future deployment. I marked you with a sensitivity that makes you aware of things others ignore. You sense spiritual atmospheres. You feel emotional undercurrents. You perceive hidden motives. You recognize unspoken tensions. This sensitivity is not a weakness that makes you vulnerable. It is a strength that makes you valuable. I gave you this awareness because your marking includes assignments that require spiritual discernment. You will be placed in situations where ordinary perception is insufficient. You will face decisions where surface information is incomplete. You will need to navigate relationships where visible behavior does not reveal actual intentions. The sensitivity that sometimes makes you feel different is evidence of your marking. It proves that you are not designed for superficial engagement. It demonstrates that you are marked for deeper involvement. It confirms that you are called to operate where others cannot function effectively. Your sensitivity is not a social liability. It is a spiritual asset. It is part of how I equipped you for the specific type of influence I have marked you to carry. I marked you with a timing that aligns with purposes you have not yet seen. Your life is not operating on the schedule you would prefer. It is operating on the schedule that serves my greater purposes. You may feel delayed, but you are actually being positioned. You may feel forgotten, but you are actually being prepared. You may feel overlooked, but you are actually being protected from premature exposure that would damage what I am building in you. The timing of your marking is perfect, but the revealing of your marking follows a different timeline. What I established before your birth must be developed throughout your life. What I planted in your spirit must be cultivated through your experiences. What I designed in eternity must be manifested in time, and time requires process. Time demands development. Time insists on preparation. The gap between your marking and its recognition is not wasted space. It is sacred space where formation occurs. I marked you with connections that are not yet visible. The people who are meant to recognize your marking, support your calling, and participate in your purpose are not all currently in your life. Some are being prepared in their own processes. Some are being positioned for divine appointments. Some are being developed for the specific role they will play in your future. The isolation you sometimes feel is not permanent. It is temporary protection until the right connections are ready. When those connections manifest, recognition will be immediate. They will see your marking clearly because they carry the spiritual perception necessary to recognize it. They will understand your calling quickly because they carry complementary callings. They will support your purpose readily because they understand how your purpose serves the greater purposes I am accomplishing. The relationships that are coming will not require you to prove your worth or demonstrate your marking. They will see it, acknowledge it, and align with it. I marked you before they noticed you because their notice was never required for your significance. Their recognition, while encouraging when it comes, is not essential for your function. Their acknowledgement, while validating when it happens, is not necessary for your advancement. You were marked for purposes that transcend their understanding, assignments that exceed their imagination, and destinations that surpass their vision. Some of you have been waiting so long for recognition that you have begun to question whether your marking is real. You wonder if you imagine the calling you feel inside. You doubt whether the gifts you carry have any value. You question whether the dreams I gave you have any foundation. But the length of time between marking and recognition does not invalidate the marking. The delay between calling and acknowledgement does not cancel the calling. The gap between purpose and platform does not eliminate the purpose. Think of Joseph, marked for leadership from his youth, but not recognized as a leader until his 30s. Think of David, marked as king while still a shepherd, but not acknowledged as king until years of preparation had developed his character. Think of Moses, marked as a deliverer from birth, but not accepted as a deliverer until he had learned humility in the wilderness. In each case, the marking preceded the recognition by years. In each case, the preparation time was as important as the recognition time. Your marking includes specific spheres of influence that are not yet ready for your input. Industries, communities, organizations, and movements that will eventually be impacted by your calling are currently unprepared for what you carry. They are not yet desperate enough to receive what you offer. They are not yet broken enough to embrace what you represent. They are not yet hungry enough to pursue what you provide. But when their readiness aligns with your preparation, recognition will be swift and comprehensive. I marked you with an anointing that operates differently in different seasons. In some seasons, it works quietly, developing your character and building your foundation. In other seasons, it works powerfully, demonstrating my favor and advancing my purposes. The quiet seasons are not evidence that your marking has diminished. They are evidence that your marking is working in development mode. The powerful seasons are not evidence that your marking has increased. They are evidence that your marking is working in demonstration mode. You are currently in a development season, which is why your marking may not be obvious to everyone around you. But development seasons are as important as demonstration seasons. What is built in private determines what can be sustained in public. What is developed in obscurity determines what can be maintained in visibility. What is established in hiddenness determines what can be preserved in exposure. I marked you with authority that will be recognized when you need it most. Authority is not something you demand or declare. It is something that is acknowledged when it is needed. Your authority will become obvious when you are placed in situations that require it. When crises emerge that need your leadership, your authority will be clear. When problems arise that need your solutions, your authority will be evident. When confusion exists that needs your clarity, your authority will be undeniable. The reason your authority is not yet widely recognized is because the situations that require it have not yet emerged in your environment. You have been placed in circumstances that are developing your character, not demonstrating your authority. You have been positioned in settings that are building your foundation, not broadcasting your capabilities. But when the time comes for your authority to be needed, its reality will be unquestionable. I marked you before they noticed you, because I work from eternity into time, not from time into eternity. What I establish in the eternal realm must be developed in the temporal realm. What I decree in heaven must be processed on earth. What I design in spirit must be manifested in flesh. The marking was complete before you were born. The development continues throughout your life. The recognition comes when the development has reached the appropriate level. Your worth is not determined by their notice. Your value is not established by their validation. Your significance is not confirmed by their acknowledgement. You were worth saving before you knew you needed salvation. You were valuable before you understood your value. You were significant before anyone recognized your significance. And you remain all of these things whether anyone notices or not. The mark I placed upon your life will become increasingly obvious as you mature in your calling. What started as a whisper will become a voice. What began as a spark will become a flame. What commenced as a seed will become a tree. What originated as a vision will become a reality. The progression from marking to manifestation is not a straight line. It is a spiral where each revolution brings greater clarity, deeper development, and wider recognition. People will begin to notice what was always there. They will start to see what they previously missed. They will begin to acknowledge what they formerly ignored. And when this recognition comes, remember that it is not the beginning of your significance. It is the revelation of your significance. It is not the start of your calling. It is the unveiling of your calling. It is not the birth of your purpose. It is the emergence of your purpose. I marked you before they noticed you, because I wanted you to know that your worth comes from me, not from them. Your identity is rooted in my choice, not in their recognition. Your future is secured by my promises, not by their approval. You can move forward with confidence because what I have marked cannot be unmarked. What I have chosen cannot be unchosen. What I have appointed cannot be disappointed. The day is coming when what I whispered to your spirit in private will be shouted from rooftops in public, when what I revealed to you in secret will be announced in the open, when what I confirmed to you in solitude will be proclaimed in the multitude. And on that day, you will understand that the waiting was not punishment, but preparation. That the hiddenness was not rejection, but protection. That the delay was not denial, but development. You are marked. You are chosen. You are appointed. You are significant. You are valuable. You are called. You are destined. And all of this was true before anyone noticed, remains true while they are noticing, and will be true after they have noticed. Your marking is not dependent on their recognition, but their recognition is inevitable. Because what I mark cannot remain hidden forever. Stand in the confidence of your marking. Walk in the authority of your choosing. Move in the certainty of your calling. The mark upon your life is real, regardless of who sees it. The favor over your life is active, regardless of who acknowledges it. The purpose within your life is alive, regardless of who understands it. I marked you before they noticed you, and I will make sure they notice what I have marked. But let me take you deeper into the nature of divine marking and why it operates the way it does. When I mark someone, I am not just selecting them for a task. I am embedding into their spiritual DNA everything they will need for every assignment they will ever face. This marking is like a seed that contains not just the tree it will become, but every fruit that tree will produce, every shade it will provide, and every life it will sustain. The marking is complete from the beginning, but its manifestation unfolds over a lifetime. This is why your marking often feels too big for your current reality. This is why the vision inside you seems impossible when measured against your current resources. This is why the dreams I have given you appear unrealistic when compared to your present circumstances. The marking is not designed for your current season, it is designed for your ultimate assignment. The gifts within you are not sized for today's problems, they are sized for tomorrow's purposes. Consider the way I marked the prophets. When I marked Jeremiah, I told him I knew him before he was formed in his mother's womb and appointed him as a prophet to the nations. But Jeremiah was just a young man with no platform, no credentials, no recognition. The marking was complete, but the manifestation required development, testing, and time. What I marked in eternity had to be worked out in time through process, pressure, and preparation. The same is true for you. The marking is complete, but the manifestation is progressive. What I established in your spirit before your birth must be developed through your experiences after your birth. The gifts must be refined, the character must be built, the vision must be clarified, the authority must be tested, and the relationships must be formed. All of this takes time, but none of it changes the original marking. Your marking includes not just what you will do, but how you will do it. It includes not just the destination, but the journey. It includes not just the final position, but every position that will prepare you for the final position. This is why seemingly random experiences in your life often connect to form a pattern that makes sense later. Nothing in your marked life is actually random. Everything serves the purpose embedded in your marking. The education you received, even if it seemed irrelevant at the time, is part of your marking. The relationships you formed, even those that ended poorly, contributed to your marking. The challenges you faced, even those that nearly destroyed you, developed your marking. The victories you experienced, even the small ones, confirmed your marking. The failures you endured, even the embarrassing ones, refined your marking. All of it was purposeful, because all of it was connected to the mark I placed upon you. People often ask why their path has been so different from others, why their journey has included so many detours, why their story has so many complex chapters. It is because their marking requires a different kind of preparation. Standard paths produce standard results. Unique markings require unique preparations. Extraordinary purposes demand extraordinary developments. The complexity of your journey reveals the significance of your marking. I marked you not just for success, but for significance. Success can be temporary, but significance is eternal. Success affects circumstances, but significance affects lives. Success changes situations, but significance transforms people. Success can be achieved through talent and effort, but significance requires character and calling. This is why your preparation focuses so heavily on character development rather than skill enhancement. The mark upon your life carries a generational component. You are not just marked for your own lifetime. You are marked to impact generations. The decisions you make, the character you develop, the legacy you build will affect people you will never meet, in places you will never go, in times you will never see. This generational aspect of your marking is why the preparation is so thorough and the standards are so high. When I mark someone for generational impact, I cannot afford to cut corners in their development. Every weakness must be addressed. Every character flaw must be corrected. Every limitation must be overcome, because what they build will be inherited by others. What they establish will be continued by others. What they begin will be finished by others. The mark is not just for them. It is through them for many. Your marking also includes a spiritual dimension that transcends the natural realm. You are marked to affect not just human beings, but spiritual atmospheres, not just earthly situations, but heavenly purposes, not just temporal problems, but eternal issues. This spiritual dimension is why your battles are often more intense than others, why your testing goes deeper, why your development takes longer. You are being prepared to operate in realms where ordinary preparation would be insufficient. The spiritual enemy recognizes marking before humans do. He can sense when someone is marked for significant impact, and he begins his opposition early. This is why your life may have included unusual resistance, unexpected attacks, and overwhelming challenges. The intensity of the opposition is not evidence of your weakness, it is evidence of your marking. The enemy attacks what threatens him, and your marking threatens his agenda. But here is what the enemy does not understand. His opposition to your marking actually serves your marking. Every attack develops your resilience. Every scheme strengthens your discernment. Every battle builds your spiritual authority. He thinks he is preventing your marking from manifesting, but he is actually accelerating your preparation for your marking to manifest fully. I marked you with a specific timing that aligns with global purposes. Your emergence is not just about your personal fulfillment, it is about what the world needs when you emerge. The problems you are uniquely equipped to solve are not ready to be solved yet. The people you are designed to influence are not yet in positions where they need your influence. The movements you are meant to lead are still forming. Your timing is connected to cosmic timing. This cosmic dimension of your marking is why you sometimes feel out of sync with your current environment. You are marked for a time that has not yet fully come. You are prepared for a season that is still approaching. You are equipped for a moment that is still forming. The discomfort you feel in current situations is evidence that you are marked for future situations. I marked you with an authority that will be undeniable when it needs to be exercised. Right now, you may question whether you really have the authority your marking suggests. You may wonder if others will respect authority you are not sure you possess. You may doubt whether you can exercise influence you have never tested. But authority is not something you manufacture. It is something you manifest when the situation requires it. When the moment comes for your authority to be needed, it will emerge naturally, powerfully, and convincingly. People will not question it because it will be obviously real. Circumstances will submit to it because it will be spiritually backed. Opposition will yield to it because it will be divinely endorsed. The uncertainty you feel about your authority now will be replaced by absolute confidence when the authority needs to be exercised. I marked you before they noticed you because I wanted the foundation of your identity to be established before the pressures of recognition arrived. Recognition changes people. Visibility affects behavior. Influence shifts perspectives. If your identity is not solidly rooted in my marking before recognition comes, recognition can corrupt you. But if you know who you are because of my marking, recognition simply confirms what you already know. The people who are marked but not yet recognized often feel invisible, overlooked, forgotten. But invisibility is protection. Obscurity is development. Hiddenness is preparation. When you are hidden, you can focus on becoming who you need to be without the distraction of managing who people think you are. When you are unknown, you can concentrate on character development without the pressure of reputation management. Your marking will become increasingly obvious as you approach your moment of full manifestation. What starts as a whisper in your spirit becomes a voice in your mind, then a conversation in your relationships, then a declaration in your environment, then a testimony in your community, and finally a legacy in your generation. The progression from marking to manifestation follows this pattern of expanding circles of influence. Each circle tests different aspects of your marking. Personal conviction tests your faith. Relational influence tests your character. Environmental authority tests your wisdom. Community leadership tests your integrity. Generational impact tests your legacy. Each level must be mastered before the next level can be accessed. This is why the progression cannot be rushed and why the development cannot be skipped. Some people try to access levels of influence their character has not prepared them for. They want the recognition without the development, the platform without the preparation, the authority without the testing. But marking does not work that way. Each level must be earned through faithful stewardship of previous levels. Each circle must be mastered before the next circle can be entered. I marked you with a unique combination of gifts, experiences, and perspectives that no one else carries exactly the way you carry them. This is why comparison is useless and why competition is pointless. You cannot duplicate someone else's marking, and they cannot replicate yours. You are not in competition with others who are marked. You are in collaboration with them. Each marking serves different aspects of my overall purposes. The uniqueness of your marking is why you sometimes feel like you do not fit in existing categories. You are not supposed to fit in existing categories. You are supposed to create new categories. You are not supposed to follow existing patterns. You are supposed to establish new patterns. You are not supposed to join existing movements. You are supposed to start new movements. Your marking is not about fitting in. It is about standing out for specific purposes. The day is coming when what I whispered to you in secret will be proclaimed from stages, when what I confirmed to you in private will be announced in public, when what I established in hiddenness will be revealed in brightness. And when that day comes, those who overlooked you will wonder how they missed what was so obvious. Those who dismissed you will ask when you became what you have always been. Those who ignored you will realize they were in the presence of someone marked by me and failed to recognize it. But remember this: their recognition, while gratifying when it comes, is not the source of your significance. Their acknowledgement, while encouraging when it happens, is not the foundation of your worth. Their notice, while validating when it occurs, is not the basis of your value. You were marked before they noticed. You remain marked while they are noticing, and you will be marked after they have noticed. Your marking is not dependent on their recognition, but their recognition is inevitable, because what I mark cannot remain hidden forever. The mark upon your life will become increasingly obvious as you step into your full assignment. What I embedded before their awareness will emerge despite their resistance. What I established before their understanding will manifest beyond their comprehension. Stand in the confidence of your marking. Walk in the authority of your choosing. Move in the certainty of your calling. I marked you before they noticed you, and I will ensure they notice what I have marked. The mark is real. The calling is true. The purpose is alive, and the recognition is coming.